Today I'm going to be talking about inferiority complex. Inferiority complex. This topic is I'm so passionate about this topic because I suffered from inferiority complex for so many years. If anybody told me that I would be able to sit in front of a camera like this, I wouldn't have believed what the person was telling me. Inferiority complex is that feeling you have that you feel inferior to other people. Something just tells you that you are not as good as others. There is this inner voice in you that keeps condemning you and letting you know all the time that you are good for nothing, you are no good. And if you allow that voice to continue, or you give that voice audience, it grows. And the worst part about inferiority complex is that some people don't even know that what they are suffering from is inferiority complex. And I also want to let us know that inferiority complex is a spirit. It's a spirit. And it stays in your mind. It dwells in your mind. It begins to condemn you. No matter what you do, you don't see it as good as others. I had that problem for years, and I can tell you it is not a good feeling. I can tell you it is not a good feeling at all. The next person sitting by your side might not know what you are suffering from. And it's so bad that sometimes you cannot even lay a finger on it to even talk to someone. You feel so bad about yourself, you cannot be able to open up and tell somebody, this is how I feel, or this is what I'm feeling. I will share some of my experience with you when I was going through this terrible time of my life. I remember in those days, I avoid anything called mirror. Whatever will make me see a mirror, I run away from it. It's so bad that I cannot be able to look at myself from head to toe. I don't have any standing mirror in my house. I can manage a facial mirror, maybe in my bathroom. But outside that, no other mirrors. Why? Because I just didn't want to see myself. I felt I'm very ugly. I don't look good. I don't want to see my body. I don't want to just see how I look. And let me tell you, it's that bad to the extent that even if I'm walking on the road and I see a parked vehicle, if I'm passing by that vehicle, I turn my face the other way so that I will not look at the mirror, or I will not see the glass. I will not see myself on the glass of that vehicle. And when I walk along the road and people laugh, I feel they are laughing at me. When I see two people talking, I feel they are talking about me. That was how terrible. You know, living in bondage or in a cage, and you just can't go out and you can't tell people. Even your closest friend, even your husband, even your spouse, sometimes they think they are the problem. They don't even know that you have an internal battle that you are fighting, that you are actually the problem. I remember in those days when there's end of the year party in my husband's office, and he invites me and he said that we're going for our end of the year party. Something just tell me, you really want to go for that party? You will be looking like his mother. People think you are his mom. And I'll just make an excuse. I'll tell him, that day, when that day comes, I'll tell him I have headache or I have stomach pain. Today I cannot be able to go. Maybe next year we'll go. You know, I won't tell him why I didn't want to go for that party. I will go to a meeting. Maybe I will go for a conference or a seminar, and I feel pressed to use the bathroom. And if I want to get up from my seat, that voice will just tell me, you really want to do this? You want everybody to be staring at you and looking at you right now? Sit down. And I'll take a seat and endure the pee. I'm sure some of you can relate with this. Maybe some of you can't. But inferiority complex is a terrible disease. Terrible spirit. Because I'm on the big side, so I always thought I'm shapeless. I'm ugly. I can't identify with anybody. And I battled with this terrible spirit for years. For years. So one day, I was at home alone, and after I finished my prayer that morning, I just heard a voice asking me, if you are fat, and so what? I looked left, looked right. I was alone in the room, nobody was there. And I heard that voice clearly. I just got up from my bed. I said, what is really happening? That day I called my carpenter and I told him, I said, please, can I get a standing mirror? He said, yes. So I told him, I said, as soon as he can, you get me a standing mirror. So he brought a standing mirror and I told him to mount it in my bedroom. And he did. And after he left that day, I pulled off my clothes. I stood in front of the mirror. Those things I didn't want to see, I started looking at it. I said, it is not that bad. You are not shapeless. You are not ugly. You are not as bad as you think. That day was my deliverance. After that day, I went for a haircut. Because normally in those days, I wear only boo-boo to cover my body parts, I don't want anybody to see anything. I went to the market, I bought trousers, I bought shirts, and I started changing. I cut my hair. I went on low cut because I had a very long hair then. I went on low cut. When my husband came back from work, he didn't recognize me. When the Bible said, guide your hearts with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Your heart is where the battle is. Your own might not be inferiority complex. It might be something else, but your heart is where the battle is. Guide it with all diligence. And what does that mean? Don't allow people to tell you things that will hurt you to the extent of changing you or making you feel like a nobody or putting you down. And if you have a complex issue, low self-esteem, admit it to yourself. Even if you don't want to tell other people, tell yourself, this is my problem and I have to deal with it. And I didn't just stop there. After I got that deliverance, I started looking for books. Books of people that had confidence, how they made it, how they overcame inferiority complex. I started looking for books and I started reading. In those days, there were no internet, so we couldn't go online to go and check. But we had books, inspirational books, and I started reading. And that was how my life was transformed. Right now, I don't care who you are. I can stand before you and talk. And even if I have a crowd of 5,000 people here, I can stand confidently and still talk. But it was not like this before. It wasn't like this before. And every time, I'm saying, people are talking about me. It's about me. Everything that happens around me, I just feel it's about me. Maybe they're laughing at me. Maybe they feel my dress is not good, or my shoe is too low, or my hair is too scanty, or my nails are too short. Those type of terrible thoughts. And who are these people? Who are they? These people, they have their own problems. They have their own challenges. They have their own flaws. They are not perfect either. Work on yourself. Get out from that sluggishness, that laziness, that complex. Get up. It is so good now that you have your phone. Go online, start searching for that problem that you have. Look for people that have suffered such things before. Read about them. Watch their videos. Listen to their talks, their podcasts, and make something good out of your life. This video is becoming too long. My name again is Mary Good, and this is Godly Counsel. Thank you for watching this video, and please share this video with a friend. There might be somebody out there that just needs to hear this to be delivered. God bless you.